All right, what's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of the Super Sitcomic Podcast, where we are jumping into, what is it, episode 7?
Episode 7.
Episode 7,
Yeah.
breaking the fourth wall. We're getting super close.
Yeah. I mean, and this is a very special episode. We got a couple of new things. We are filming for the first time.
For WandaVision.
For WandaVision.
Yeah, see
so
how it goes.
We're excited. We've got a little bit of some additions to our studio. And we have one other special addition. We have Mr. Harrychapin back with us
He's
again.
back.
He is going to be here with us. And if you listen to our last podcast that had him on, you know
episode
that
9.
you know we get down some tangents. We get a little bit off topic.
No. Let's be real here.
I and Harry.
You listen to me trying to reel us back in.
I and Harry kind of go off on tangents, and Greg has to pull us back in. So
we're gonna try that again.
Buckle up. Here we go.
This is why I said one thing.
Welcome back.
I'm done
Harry.
for the episode.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thanks,
we
guys.
appreciate you being here.
I know I only got invited because I built these shelves. So.
That's true. That's
we do.
true.
Yeah.
Today.
Shout out to building
Today.
freshly built podcast shelves.
Well,
gives a little sprucing up our background. It's wonderful.
I built the shelves. You built some of the reinforcements.
Well, they would have been broken if I didn't read them.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is the tangents we were talking about.
Yeah,
All right, let's
that's
get
exactly
into
right.
WandaVision episode 7.
I want to kick it off.
Okay, go for it. Let's
I
hear it.
didn't like it.
Whatever. Okay, Greg,
All right,
so we're going to continue here.
We're going to unplug your mic.
I didn't like the episode.
Well, here's the thing.
And that's your opinion. It's a wrong opinion.
Yeah.
that's your
I'm
opinion.
just saying. I told you I was going to start this off with a bombshell
to make us unhappy.
To make you unhappy.
See, this is what he does.
Didn't
makes
like
us unhappy.
this episode.
Okay.
I wasn't, and here's the thing. There was nothing.
Why didn't you like it?
There was nothing necessarily wrong with this episode.
That's correct.
Here is the thing, though. It was made out to be like this big reveal that Agnes was Agatha.
Well, it's not our fault. We're right all the time.
That's what I'm saying. We already knew this.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get the reveal we wanted, which was Reed Richards being on the other side of the hill and being the one who delivers
I'm gonna speak into that a little bit.
And what I'm saying is, all we got from this episode was things we already knew.
So before you get into Reed Richards, the reason you're disappointed in that and the reason you guys have been getting so correct and all these reasons are because this is the only thing Marvel has put out in how long? So Marvel has now been known as this superhuman, cinematic
monster.
Yeah.
Publisher, company, and everything.
They're putting out lots of stuff.
Right. So now this is the only thing they're doing. So this is what everyone is looking at. Everyone's scrutinizing this. Everyone's honing in on all the comics that every single character has ever been. I mean, you listen to every single episode, almost everything they say in that episode is like either a tip of the hat or like a saying from the comics themselves, which is cool as people that like to, drive things from comics.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's why you guys have been so right. That's why other people have been so right about these things. And that's why that's probably the reason you're not very excited about this episode is because you already knew what was going to happen because everyone is scrutinizing. Everyone is looking into every single detail because it's the only thing we have to watch. But
it's true.
It happened in Mandalorian. It happens now in WandaVision.
Well, that's a really, really good point. Yeah. I hadn't thought of it from that perspective. But I just
is it because you just watched the episode?
I did just
like
watch
5
the
minutes
episode.
ago. And this
5 minutes ago.
This is also a little more mainstream. Like Mandalorian, you had to be a little bit more of a hardcore Star Wars canon fan to get into that. But like, if you're a big Marvel Comics fan, like there's a lot more people that know the histories of Wanda and Vision and Mephisto and
not necessarily
House of M and stuff like
Agatha
that.
and Agnes though. Like
not necessarily
that.
But you also you need to understand that this is what we do.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree, but my point
we're
with
picking
it
this apart
is
on purpose.
I was hoping
for more.
So we got
wanted the one.
We got
that
one
didn't
big
happen.
reveal. We got two
big reveals. 2. Well, there was 2. The first one was the fact that Photon is actually that Monica's actually Photon. Like we actually got to see her powers in action.
We were already seeing. We didn't get to see her powers in action.
Yeah, she pushed through the hex without getting changed. So in other words, she resisted all that magic.
Powers being in action.
Yeah, that's why her eyes glowed
that's
blue.
A low bar.
For the Legion, though. For the Legion, what are her technical powers?
So Photon is her powers are based around energy, energy redistribution. And so when she went through the hex, she was able to actually manipulate and shield herself from the energies of Wanda's magic.
Which I actually think was the coolest scene.
Super cool.
Her pushing through, and then all of the flashes in of
from Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, and
with
even
her mother
just like
and
her mom.
Sam Jackson was in there.
Sam Jackson. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah. That was really, really cool.
Well, and then when she stepped out.
I really loved that scene.
And then when she stepped out, her eyes were blue, and we got to see what she saw, and you could see all the electricity on the power lines. And so she was like seeing the energy world around her through her powers. That's so cool.
I don't see that as her exemplifying using her
no,
powers.
they have 2 more episodes.
Yeah. I agree.
3 more
I agree. But
and
my point with it is
that
didn't show me her powers.
Are they doing 10
really?
Episodes?
9. So there's 2
9.
more.
Okay,
yeah, there's 2 more.
Superhero landing though. Wanda picked her up in the air, and then she flipped over superhero landing with all the blue and everything. That's sick, man. That's so cool.
Everyone, when I was watching at work, everyone was saying that. They're like, "Oh no, she's not. She's gonna do it." We're all just like, "Oh, she did the superhero landing."
Yep.
Hey, you
it's
gotta
like
do
Deadpool.
it. Yeah. Well,
man, that's gotta be rough on the knees.
It's rough on the knees. Yeah, it does. It does. No, so we had.
Yeah, let's walk through it a little bit.
All right, so let's get into it. So. The Hex has expanded. We've got a bunch of new places in it. We've got the used car place, which we really didn't get to see this time. We got the circus, which is where Darcy ended up.
Yeah.
Yep. And most of the sword agents ended up in that circus, that's got to be so, I don't know. It's like, actually, it fits with their skill set. They're super physical, and they're super, in control of their bodies, so they'd probably be really good circus people, like acrobatics. And,
military people?
To an extent.
Like what?
Military people? Is that
yeah. They'd be actually probably really good at that stuff.
To an extent, but I also think it might be
still
Wanda kind of making fun of them a little bit.
Yeah, they're clowns now.
Yeah.
They're all clowns in acrobatics.
Exact.
But Wanda's there and Vision's there, and they're both clowns and escape artists.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to make their way back. So we get a few different storylines. So we're following a few different characters now. We've got Vision and Darcy, who Vision wakes Darcy up, and she's been under it for a lot less time than most people who have been woken up, so she's not freaking out quite so much.
And
she's a sword agent.
It seems as though she's not in as much pain.
Yeah,
but it seems as though because she hasn't been under so long, it doesn't hurt her as much to then be woken up.
Yeah, so they're trying to get back to the town.
Yeah,
and then we've got Monica trying to get into the Hex to get to Wanda. Right. And then we've got Wanda trying to reconcile the fact that she's losing her abilities. Right. Or losing her ability to control things.
We actually have one other.
Yeah.
We have the director who is mounting or preparing for some sort of attack. And we only get one scene with him.
Right.
That is the only scene in this episode. But when you see him and when he's talking to whoever is his second in command, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
He's telling them to be prepared for this next move that they're about to make. And so we don't know what that next move is because we don't get any other flashes, no other scenes with him. That's all we get.
We have a pretty good guess, though.
Sure.
Right. We think. What do you guys think he's gonna do? Like, what do you think he's gonna step into?
He's going to try to attack the Hex in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's realizing that it's becoming more and more modern, so that the Hex, although she'll still have she'll have control of it, and the actual Hex itself around the town now bigger. That's what was preventing them, right? Was that they were using technology or other things that weren't of that time period.
Revert back to
at some point
things.
She's going to catch up to the actual time. So it's is that going to allow them to be able to penetrate and step into the Hex?
Probably not without
resistance.
I don't think so. I think there'll still be resistance.
I agree.
But it'll at least come over the other. But the thing is,
there's something there.
Here's the thing, though. When Monica tries to go into it with the advanced machinery or whatever,
right?
They're in the 2000, the decade of
early
2000s.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Modern Family.
Right, and The Office.
Which started in 2005.
Yeah, so there's way more advanced machinery that it could have been when it came through, but she reverted it to an old beat-up truck.
True.
So,
True.
I don't think there's going to be no resistance. I think she'll just revert it to whatever she wants, but the technology is advancing, and he's obviously trying to create a strike on her. He wants to kill her. He wants to take out Wanda because of the threat that she poses.
And because he wants Vision's body back.
Because he's Mephisto.
Been saying that for a while now. Been saying that for a while now.
Yeah, but obviously everybody's been saying everybody's Mephisto.
Yeah, I know. I got a text message today from Andy, who's been on our podcast and is a Patreon supporter, and he literally, it was Wanda fans, WandaVision fans, and
they see a new
there's
character,
a butterfly floating to them, and it's like new character, and they're like, are they Mephisto? And it's like every single person we're suspecting is Mephisto. That person's Mephisto. That person. But we've been saying for a couple episodes
I think
now.
It's the director
I really
still.
think it's the director.
Still think it is.
I really believe
no reason
that
to believe
it
it's
is.
not.
Sure.
All right, so things are changing. We're in the...
Things are changing more, though. So it's not just about changing to a new decade.
Right.
She can't control anything anymore.
Right. Or very little.
Well, she's realizing that she's not also the only one controlling it. Well, now she does.
Well, not yet. But But what I'm saying is, she has expanded the hex to a point where she can't control how much she is trying to control anymore. She can't even control her own house. And you see all of the different things starting to move between the different decades.
Yep.
It's starting to bounce around. I think it's great.
The
I think
wallpaper
it's awesome.
rolling up and changing, and
the TV reverting back. Like,
and the funny thing is that like she's I feel like she's reacting to it like she's woken up from like a hangover. Like she's been hit over the head with it. Right. She doesn't know what's going on. She's tired. And then the commercial in this episode is about an antidepressant.
Sure.
Right. Which they reference the Nexus. Which so the Nexus of all realities, for those of you guys who don't know, in the Marvel universe, is literally a hub within the multiverse that allows you to go to any of the known realities in existence. And so the Nexus of reality is the antidepressant, the Nexus, and it talks about you can go back to your reality, or you can go back to whatever reality you want.
Or the one where you're the center of it or not.
Right, exactly. Right,
So, and I think
I wonder if we'll step
really
into that a little bit too.
That's really cool, but I think the piece that I think is more important is this is the first commercial that doesn't have to do with her own trauma that she experienced previously.
Well,
it is more about what she's dealing with right now, as opposed to something that she's dealt with in her past.
I think the Yo Magic was this too. The Yo Magic was her magic draining inside. Remember, we were talking about the shark being
but there
Mephisto
was a deal
draining
there.
That.
Right, but there was a deal.
I guess it is
there,
in the past.
And that was something that appeared to be
But it's not
in
something
the
we've
past.
seen, though.
Sure. And that was something that was new with the Yo Magic. But
not
my
from
point
movies.
with that was it was something that happened in history. This appears to be addressing right now.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that maybe Quicksilver was Mephisto?
Yeah, so that's another.
Because
we heard that.
He said little dude.
Talked about that a little bit.
Because he said the exact same line, like the next line he was in.
Yeah, he said the same line as the shark.
He said like, "Hey, good job, little dude," or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and there's talks about that, and he references the twins as demon spawn, which in the comics, right? We've talked about Mephisto is part of his soul was used to create the twins in the comics, so they're his demon spawn. And he also mentions that Westview is like a hell of a place, and so they talk about him being the devil and referencing hell. I don't think so. No. I don't think he's Mephisto.
Personally, I don't think so.
I think he's and especially with the teaser. Did you see the stinger at the end of the credits?
Yeah.
So first episode with the stinger, which is great.
Yeah.
It was about time.
I went back and looked into all the other episodes. I'm like, did I miss one? Was there one before this? But
because it kept saying, "Please stand by,"
right?
And then you stand by,
and nothing
for
happens.
6 minutes of credits.
Well, anyway, at the end of that,
nothing.
In that stinger, it's like, to me, it more points to he's working with Agnes, and he's like Agnes's
minion,
or
and I mean,
like
you saw
she
that.
brought him.
You saw that when
right,
she was sitting on the lawn
she
eating lunch
brought
or whatever.
him to the
and you see her
to the front door.
Well, but it's not
during
just
the
that.
80s, yeah.
Agnes always shows up at the exact moment that she's needed.
Yeah, well, it was Agnes all along.
It was Agnes all along. But my point with that is Quicksilver showed up at the exact moment he was needed. So
right,
like
but by
that,
her.
But exactly,
you could see
but that's
her
my
magic
point.
on his back. So like when.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
My point with it is he has been working with her
He's
all
from
along.
Her. Yeah.
He's from her because he showed up at the exact moment he was needed.
I still think I'm still holding on to that fact that he's actually the X-Men from the Fox universe, that she brought him there, that she still brought him there. Yeah, there was
I
actually.
hope so too, because I really want to see mutant crossover
dude,
here.
There was an Eagle Eye fan. I don't remember where I read it or where I saw it or who saw it first. Whoever you are, props to you. But in the flashback in the previous episode, when they're talking about the time they went Halloween trick or treating together, when Wanda and Pietro went, and they go into his memory of when they're in. We're assuming it's Sokovia. But we're not really sure. But there's propaganda posters on the old lady who's giving them candy's wall, and it's only there for like a split second. But those posters show the Russian space race, which put them at the wrong time period for her to be alive in the MCU, because in the MCU, the twins were born in the late 80s, early 90s. Because in
so they would have already been kids in the
60s. Right, so during the Russian space race,
69 we landed on the moon. So.
Right, they wouldn't have been alive yet. But but Pietro in the 80s, in the Fox movies, he's like 19 in the 80s. So he would have been alive for that. He would have been, or like 20 in the 80s. So he would have been alive for that. So there's that little nod of, oh wait, is his memory remembering back to the space races? Does that confirm? And I hope so, but it just kind of I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I want that opportunity for that crossover.
Yeah. Agatha was hired by Magneto, right? Wasn't that
in the comics?
Yeah. So because he was technically their father.
He is their father, but she was the nanny to the Richards, to Reed Richards and Sue Richards. She was the nanny to their kids. So I don't think she ever worked with Pietro and Wanda. Maybe she did. But I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. I don't know.
That's
how I thought they tied
after
it
this
in.
episode for us to take a look at.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. Well, anyway, so obviously cat's out of the bag. The biggest reveal in the episode, which was obviously your biggest disappointment, was that Agnes was revealed to finally be Agatha Harkness. She names herself that. She gets purple magic. Now we've got red magic, we've got purple magic, and Photon's got blue electrical magic. So we got all these cool colors going on. But she's got purple magic.
Psychedelic, man.
And she's been everything. It was Agatha all along. So she's been orchestrating all these things, or at least according to that.
Or the problems, the challenges that they've been facing, the things that have come up. It's been her all along.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the possibility of her training Wanda. So to me, and I talked about this with my wife a little bit, this doesn't necessarily rule that out because she could have seen Wanda's potential, and put her into this training simulation without Wanda knowing, and now she's revealing herself to Wanda. Or she could be working with Mephisto.
Well, and you know,
she's an anti-hero. She's not really always good.
The other thing that I really liked was the cutscene where we got to see all the things that she was doing.
Yeah.
And they went to what threw us last week.
Yes.
Which was when she was in the car.
Yes.
And she woke up.
Yeah, she faked her wake up.
She faked her wake up.
And she's like,
with Vision.
I love the fact that she's like checking her makeup in the mirror when Vision's looking down the street.
A nod to the camera.
And she looks at the camera, and then she goes back to being like, oh, I'm in distress to Vision. I love that, man. It's so good.
So she played that up incredibly well. I love seeing that, but now it's a matter of, okay, what is her intentions? What is she doing this for?
Right, yeah.
Well, the part that kind of, I don't know why, it was kind of like you going back to every other episode.
Yeah.
And I kind of went back to this part of the episode in this one, and I also looked at the end credits to see if this person came up at all, and to see if there's any names correlated with it. The interviewer?
Yeah, well, that was her.
Right, but it was a man's voice.
It was a man's voice. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, who's the interviewer? So then
who was it?
I don't know. There was no. There was no interview in the.
There's no interviewer in there.
Right. Yeah.
Just a random.
But it was a man, and he said, "Well, maybe you deserve this." And
I love that. And then we know it's her.
Right. You know. Well, you don't.
You see it's her.
You see her, but it says director, not interviewer.
That's true. Could be somebody else. Yeah.
It could be someone else, and I was
like, well,
who is it?
She has the ability to change her
absolutely.
voice.
But I thought maybe this would be like one of those, little catches.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know who could be. Maybe Mephisto.
Maybe Mephisto.
Or maybe Quicksilver.
That could be it too.
No, but it was someone's voice that was distinctive.
The same. Yeah.
It was like
because she did.
I'd have to go listen again.
It sounded like someone that I've heard in the MCU before, or is like A-rated actor.
Yeah,
like
who
you
would
they
know that
in?
person.
But I didn't
Well,
know.
we're still waiting because you got to remember
that's the end I want to talk to you guys about.
They've said, and I believe we said before, it was
we
Paul
said it on the
Bettany
podcast.
that said there is going to be a reveal of a character on par with Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian.
Right.
Yeah,
and so we've talked about previously, Magneto is the one that we're like, okay, Magneto's going to be one coming in. Magneto is her father. Quicksilver's father.
Right.
But then the question is, okay, which Magneto is it going to be? And we are hopeful for Fassbender being the Magneto that we find in this episode or in one of these upcoming.
They wouldn't even
not too much. He's gotten older.
Yeah,
now.
he's gotten older. Just gray him up.
He's not like
no, he's not old enough to
like
have a
60,
30.
Yeah,
he's not old enough to have a 30-year-old.
I was gonna say, how old is your mother? But how old's your father?
Yeah. They could do it. Yeah,
60?
they could do it.
Yeah, 60 something. Yeah.
But they could do that. He could do that. Or they could just get Sir McClellan.
They could do enough with makeup.
Look what they did to Chris
CGI.
Evans when he came back as
You mean
old
Joe
man.
Biden?
Yeah,
I love that.
Names.
Those
so
man, they're like,
my goodness.
He's beaten.
All right, all right. So
he's beaten everyone, and he saved the world 3 times, and now is the president of the United States.
Oh my goodness!
It's funny because it's true.
All right. So let's kind of wrap with that. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, you had one more thing. You were getting ready.
Well,
to jump on something with his,
and it's not. Well, it was just something small that we know. So the woman cutting roses or cutting the bushes when everybody stops when Photon is going after Wanda when they're like having their confrontation.
Before,
that was Dottie. And we haven't seen Dottie since
that first
second
was that
episode. It was.
Are you
second
sure?
Episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She actually
tweeted a picture of herself. She tweeted about it. So the actress who plays Dottie. So of course it doesn't look like her because her hair is all different.
It didn't look.
It's 4 decades later.
What if it wasn't her and that lady just did that to try to psych us out?
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I thought that
plot twist.
Anyway, so that was just a little thing in there. But also Agnes's song at the end. I wonder if she projected that into Wanda's mind, because it ends with Wanda having all the purple magic around her eyes and her head, and then it zooms in and then it cuts to Agatha's like recap song, and so I wonder if she was showing Wanda, here's how I've been involved in all this. It was me.
Well, not just that. I think if she's doing that to Wanda, she's showing how powerful she is.
Oh
too.
yeah,
and she's showing her age too, even though.
Well, and what did I tell you at the beginning? Right, Agatha is not afraid. If she's Agatha, Agatha's not afraid of Scarlet Witch.
You did say that.
She's been around for centuries. She's been around since before. I forget what you. And I'm gonna mess up.
She said something about 1,000.
But she threw us.
Oh yeah,
she threw us
like
really
10,
well because
BC
she showed
was around
in some of those episodes that it seemed like she was afraid.
Oh yeah, but she's so good.
She wasn't.
Master Witch, man. That's why she trains in the comics. She trains Scarlet Witch in everything she can. She gets her to the point where she can do House of M. So this is it, man. Anyway,
House of Mouse.
Yeah. Full circle.
Different House of M.
Or the same. Are they changing our reality just to fit their purposes?
I mean,
probably.
Technically.
Well, you know what?
Technically,
we're
talking about
we're
reality.
Doing a podcast. Yeah.
I'm giving their money. I'm giving them my money, and I'm not going to stop.
And you're talking about them on your own free time.
Yep.
All the time. All the time. It's not like I have anything better to do. All right. So let's wrap up with this real quick. Who do you want that cameo to be? And if so, for Logan and I, we've already said who we want it to be, or we've already kind of talked about it. But add another one in there.
Professor X.
So
add another person.
If it's
Professor
not,
X.
Ooh, that's good.
I've seen that.
That's good.
I've seen that he's the one who sent Pietro. But we kind of got that a little debunked with Agatha's magic there. But still,
how funny would that
Professor
be?
X would be sick.
Logan.
All right, so Professor X.
That's a good one.
We've said the Magneto. We want to see Magneto.
Yeah,
but
I would say Magneto.
So if I can't choose Magneto.
If you can't choose Magneto, who would you want it to be? And you can't choose Reed Richards because I
can't choose Reed Richards again.
Why not? Let's not. Let's go outside the box. I want to see Deadpool.
Deadpool.
I want to see Deadpool come in. I want to see
the fourth wall.
Yeah, well, I want. Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
I want to see him. I want to see him like in a deal with the devil, and be in that situation.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like, so I signed off.
Yeah, so I signed off on this.
Didn't know what it's about. I heard there was chimichangas.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, like this is how he got into the MCU. he accidentally signed a deal with the devil. It took him out of his rated R movies and brought him into this family-friendly movie. Like, what am I in here for?
That is true.
I think that would be hilarious.
And then he gets beeped over on everything he says.
Everything.
Yeah.
It'd be so much fun.
That would
it's like how they do on TV. They say, like, instead of...
Oh, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is
it's like everything's like...
That's my favorite Die Hard.
Mother lovers and like other things. It's like, what?
AMC, I think it was.
TNT's good, too.
But they had yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. I'm like, that is
That's great. That's great.
But yeah, how great would that... I want to see Deadpool.
I'm gonna throw a real...
All right, let's hear it.
Real curveball.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Ultron.
Oh! Ultron.
Ultron.
Well,
how cool would that be?
I'm always happy to see more James Spader.
Of he's trying to get his body back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
oh,
exactly.
yeah. He's trying to harvest it from Vision.
Exactly. How cool would it be to have James Spader?
I do like James Spader.
Coming back as Ultron, and Ultron still alive, because we have to remember they cut away on the only scene where
maybe he
Vision was destroying the last bit of Ultron.
Yeah, maybe he
let
him live.
Maybe he lived.
Because he was like his creator.
Exactly.
His father.
Exactly. And so now the person who was hunting for the body is actually Ultron. So we saw the reaction that Wanda had when Monica name dropped Ultron.
Yeah,
that's
true. She did name drop Ultron
and blew her out of the of Westview. So
all right.
Ultron, imagine a CGI'd Ultron coming back into Westview.
That's the only Ultron I know. So
imagine, right.
No, but I mean
even
more. He's broken down, but he's barely.
How he was
in.
with he went into the other Iron Man mech suits.
What if in the Hex when he walks in he's James Spader?
Ooh. I would love that.
Or if he comes in all beat up, like you guys are saying, but he possesses Vision's body.
Exactly.
He possesses him, and then we don't know if it's him.
Or Vision is already Ultron.
Oh.
Because he says he doesn't know who he is.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. So Ultron is my kind of curveball in
all right.
here.
So
Ultron also did say, I did rewatch it, Age of Ultron, just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I forgot how good it was.
It's so good.
And he does say, when has Pietro and Wanda down in his dungeon place,
when he's
all
building
the other robots.
His bodies,
he says me and you, and he's pointing to Quicksilver.
Yeah,
and he says me and you, we're powerful and we can do a lot of damage. But he says, but her, she's she's insurmountable.
Yeah,
or something
she's
like that.
she's
all powerful.
Yeah,
right.
She's the most powerful person in the world.
Oh man,
and she's just like, okay, and
yeah. I mean, Age of Ultron.
That'd be cool.
Age of Ultron actually is one of the most underrated of all the.
It got a really bad
Avengers.
rap.
It got a bad rap.
I loved it.
But I did too. But here's the thing: Ultron keeps coming back in the comics.
Yeah.
Ultron.
Oh yeah, he's a reoccur.
One of the hugest storylines. He's one of the biggest villains.
I mean, they've just so is Mephisto.
Sure.
They just came out and said that Mephisto was technically in the Infinity War.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
my
been
buddy TJ at work was
his way
telling me.
through.
They said that they've made it canon, I guess now, that he now was in control of Thanos.
Oh, I believe it, and we're probably going to see it
because he was in love with
Death.
With Death.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and we're supposed to see some bit more backstory of Thanos in the Eternals movie. So hopefully
from a comic
you said we needed more.
We needed more backstory.
We're gonna get more
on Thanos.
We're gonna
I
get
get that,
more.
but from the comic standpoint, that's cool and everything.
Yeah.
But what they've created with the MCU and the Infinity Wars and all the the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
If they did that and they say, "Oh, it's Mephisto," you think that would disappoint people?
Well, so
it kind of disappoint me a little bit, but also not really because I like it when they go back.
Yeah, but not. Yeah. So here's the deal.
But they kind of just made that canon.
It wouldn't be a Mephisto, it wouldn't be a puppet situation. It would be the same way that Thanos was to Ronan. Where it's he's just the bigger bad. He's just the next step up.
So, yeah.
We thought we won. Yeah. Oh wait, there's something
it's a
way
typical
worse.
Superhero.
Yeah, that's okay.
Storyline.
Because Thanos is still legit. And he's still crazy as all get out.
It's true.
And so
But then you learn that it's not about bringing balance to the universe, which that's what gives you kind of like a, well, you know, I kind of see why he
never
does it.
should have been that. It never should have.
It should have always been. Well, and they even, and we're getting way off topic, but they even said it back in one of the old stingers. I forget which one it was, but they said to go after this is to court with death.
Exactly.
And so
it should have been that.
They started setting it up, and it should have been the courting with death. And so maybe they're trying to retcon that a little bit.
Maybe.
I don't know. All right. Let's wrap it back in. So we've got Deadpool, we've got Ultron, we've got Professor X. I would love to see all three of them.
Sure.
Let's bring them all in. I'm hoping these last 2 episodes we get some.
Who's your random person?
Deadpool.
Oh, you're saying that's
right.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah. I hope we get some big reveals. I hope they do bring Reed Richards. I hope this was just a red herring, just to kind of throw fans off. It could easily be, because Reed Richards is an important dude, so he's not just going to come out for anything. But when he finds out that she went through the hex by herself and kept herself intact, you better believe it's going to bring somebody like him out. Yeah. That she did what his gear couldn't do, so he could come back in, and then whoever that Mark Hamill-esque cameo, man. Let's get level. It. 2 more episodes.
Whoop whoop.
So excited.
I can't believe. I don't know what they're gonna do in this 2 episodes to wrap things up here.
What if the last episode is like a award ceremony? How funny would that be?
Where they
inside the hex.
Yeah. You know, somebody tweeted about this. I can't remember who it was. I've read so many ridiculous tweets about this show because, like you said, it's the only thing we're talking about.
The only thing
it's
people
the only
are
thing
like
out there.
Dissecting with the scalpel.
But somebody said how much you want to bet the last episode is going to be called "To Be Continued."
Oh yeah,
like that's such a perfect TV episode name. Like they've all been like based off of kind of TV names, you know, like.
Right.
Like now back to our regular scheduled program.
Or cliches.
To be continued.
I guarantee. I wouldn't be to be continued. It'd be please stand by.
Yeah, maybe
it probably would be. Yeah, that's a good point.
Please stand by.
I mean, that's what they've been doing. That's probably what the last episode's going to be called. Is please stand by.
Oh man. All right. Well, I will stand by. I will watch the next season because they have got me hooked.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/LegionofCC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.